Welcome in. It's Wednesday. It's 2026. We're live. It's the Wednesday live chat before the Sony Open. It is here. The longest we've had to wait to start a PGA Tour season in the history of the PGA Tour, asterisk, since 1970, which is as far back as I could look. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you've never been here before, this is your time. It's not my time. It's your time. Questions, concerns, comments, get them in the chat right now. Get comfortable. I think we're going to be here a while. Got a lot to talk about. I've already eaten. I ate breakfast. I went to Chick-fil-A. I'm fueled up. I'm ready to go. I'm not going to try to get out of here for an early lunch. I'm ready. I'm here. If you're back again, welcome back. Thank you for coming back. Really appreciate it. We're going to talk a lot of one and done. We're going to talk about DFS. We could talk about betting. We could talk about the golf course. We could talk about statistics. We could talk about trends. We could talk about literally anything you want. This time is yours. Get your questions and comments in. I will go through them systematically or systemically, as I do each and every week. But there are a few places that I do like to start. I always like to start with a weather forecast. I usually like to start with what the one and done ownership is going to be, but we've got to talk a little business. I've got a business to attend to right out of the gate, and you guys have been seeing it, and I swear I'm not going to beat you over the head with this much longer because there's only 21 hours left until the Rick Run Good one and done for 2026, $1.25 million starts. It's going to kick off tomorrow morning. I'm going to give you a live up-to-date number here. Let's see. 3610 1390 times 250. There is $347,000 of overlay in this contest right now. That's free money, okay? Because this is fully guaranteed. Splash is paying this out no matter what. If no one else enters, it is getting paid out exactly as those terms on the sheet have been allocated. All the payout structures, the $100,000 to first prize, the 500 and some odd people who are getting paid, the segment payouts up to $7,500. It's all completely and fully guaranteed. So it's free money right now. I, in the offseason, strutted my stuff. I peacocked my way into Splash HQ, and I demanded $1 million of a guaranteed purse. They said, hey, Rick, how about 1.25 million? We'll make it the biggest one and done ever created on the internet. And they said, do you think you can fill that? And I said, hell yeah, we can. I was pretty optimistic at the time. We'll see how it goes over the course of the next, 21 hours. But let's get this thing loaded in. I mean, every entry you put in at this point is like your $250 entry is worth like $350 at this massive amount of overlay. In addition to that, but wait, there's more. Actually, I don't know if I've ever told this story before. Do you guys remember the passing of Billy Mays? Remember Billy Mays? OxyClean, the greatest pitchman ever. I was with him the night before he passed. Not in any weird way. I saw him at a hotel bar. I got his autograph. He signed a picture of himself and said, hey, Rick, keep it OxyClean. Billy Mays. Woke up the next morning. He had passed away. So anyway, but wait, there's more. If you put 2 or more entries in to this one and done, you are entered into a draw for travel and hospitality tickets to the Players Championship. You will sit next to me at the Intracoastal Club, which is between the 12th and the 13th holes at TPC Sawgrass, with shade and alcohol and food and great views and great vibes and great times, and have it all paid for by Splash. Damn, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So get 2 entries or more in, and you're in that draw as well. We will pick that winner probably next week on the live chat, something like that. I'll have to get the information from the guys at Splash, and they'll take care of it. If that wasn't enough, and I swear I've only got one more thing to promote here. We do have a tiers contest this week. So in addition to the one and done, we do have a $25,000 tiers contest. This is our weekly contest. So obviously the one and done goes over the course of the entire year. This is our weekly contest. It's only $25 an entry. Somebody's going to win $3,100. You pick 6 golfers from each of 5 tiers. And this year it's based on earnings. Someone sent me a message and said, hey, Rick, do you like, he's like, I don't like that it's going to earnings this year instead of just score to par. And I said, you know what? I'm not sure. I'm going to hold my thoughts on that because last year, if you had two guys miss the cut, you had no chance of winning. This year, if you have two guys miss the cut or three guys miss the cut, there's a good chance you could still have a good week if you have the winner. So I think it's a balance. I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to hold my judgment on this, but that's what we're doing. We're doing it with money this year, so it aligns with the one and done. Your best 5 scores are going to count like they always do. This is definitely going to overlay. Like everyone who I've asked to put money on Splash and get in the one and done, that is definitely going to overlay the tiers contest. That is like not even halfway full at this point. So a lot of free money available to you. Okay, I'll pause there. Thank you all for the support. Go get your free money. The links are in the description for everything that you need. It's going to be an absolute blast. Let's get into this a little bit. I'm sure we're going to talk a lot more about one and done, but let me get into the weather for this week. Waialae Country Club. It's right there on the coast. This might be the last time we see it. It is mostly only, I don't want to say only defensible because there is a pretty good missed fairway penalty. You've got to be a pretty good driver of the golf ball, all that fun stuff. But most of the defense comes via the wind. And tell you what, it looks like we're going to get it this week. Thursday's forecast, basically, as soon as we get through the morning wave, the afternoon wave starts with this 20-mile-an-hour winds with gusts to 21, 22. And then that looks like it essentially sustains itself all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then most of the morning on Sunday until a little bit of a calm down on Sunday afternoon. So if this forecast holds, thinking that the winning score is not going to be 27 under par, which is what we've seen when there's no wind. We've seen it as low as 13 under or as high as 13 under par, right? When there has been a lot of wind. It's a very, very small window, and it's only for half the day. But if you wanted to go out and get your Thursday morning golfers as opposed to your Friday morning golfers, that might be the better side of things. But I think all day Friday is going to be a little bit tough. The afternoon on Thursday is going to be a little bit tough. And I think all in all, it's going to be a pretty windy week. And it's coming out of the northwest, which is the more difficult direction of this wind. So yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit tougher than just kind of your walk in the park. I don't think anybody's going to shoot a 59, although I've been proven wrong before. I'm going to get into your questions and your comments right now. I'm very excited for this. There is a question that says, it's from Trevor. It's the very first question. It says, I'm pumped for a fresh one and done slate. Is there no longer an office football pool publicly available player owned percentage anymore? It was a great leverage tool. And I say, Trevor, you beautiful, innocent boy. How dare you think I would come on here and not have a solution for you? Okay. How dare you do that? Because it ain't pretty, but I've got a solution for you. And I joke because I literally got this about 3 minutes before the show started. That is why it is sitting in a Google Doc right now. Obviously, okay, so Office Football Pool, Run Your Pool have been merged into Splash Sports. You guys have all realized that, right? That was the same thing. They finally merged the brands. There used to be this great tool on Office Football Pool that showed you the site-wide picks for one and done. I have been able to work my angles, work my contacts, and get that report right now. I don't know if it's going to continue throughout the year. I don't know if they're going to post anywhere or if I'm just going to be sharing it every single week. I don't know, but I did not want to come on here and not have this. So here we go. 2 golfers leading the way in one and done selection rates as of right now. Russell Henley and JJ Spawn, the only 2 golfers over 10%. Hideki Matsuyama, Nico Echavarria, 8 and 7. Siwoo Kim is 6.5. Aaron Rai is 5.5. Couple of notables here. Colin Morikawa, 5.5% as of right now. One of the favorites to win this. Ben Griffin, 3.2%. Kurt Kitayama, 2%. Rico Hoey, 1.5%. No runaway favorite, no runaway guy who is being selected at an egregious amount. It's pretty spread out as of right now. We'll talk a lot about strategy, but there you go. There you go, Trevor. You beautiful, innocent boy. Don't worry about it. I'll take good care of you every single week. How much do you like Eric Cole this week? Oof. It says, I feel like he has great history here and performs well at similar courses. Let's get into it. This is my website. This is rickrungood.com. It's a giant golf database with models and just like crazy stuff. It's absolutely crazy. I've made a bunch of improvements as I do every year. I'm like a 5.1 out of 10 on Eric Cole. I am not particularly excited. The dude sprays it all over the yard. It's his one disadvantage. If you look at the stats here, the regression models and the metrics, if you miss a fairway here, you're losing a third of a shot to the field every single time you do it. Guess what? Eric Cole misses more fairways than just about anybody. So he's really going to have to figure this out from a lot of different directions. Now, good news is he's a very good short iron and wedge player. He's kind of this streaky little putter, and we've seen him putt better in the fall, which is really great to see because he kind of lost that at the end of the year. So there are good things out of Eric Cole, but the thing that he's worst at is the thing that I think is going to be troublesome. So like slightly excited. 5.1. 5 is average. 5.1 on Eric Cole. Can you do a deep dive on Ryan Gerard and whether or not he's a good play for a DraftKings lineup? Let's ride. We are riding now. Let's catch this. Let's catch this stride. Here's Ryan Gerard. He's $7,300. I have him currently projected at about 12% ownership. Coming off that runner-up finish, he went all the way to South Africa. No, sorry. He went all the way to, I can never pronounce that. I don't think it's Mauritius. It's like Mauritius. I can never pronounce this right. To get a spot in the Masters, finished runner-up, and got the job done. That was kind of I think a little bit of a needed reset. His end of the year, after he won at the Barracuda, he did what a lot of these guys do, kind of take that breath. Things were not well after that. He's like a pretty bad putter. Played here last year, picked up 2 strokes on the putting surfaces. Bermuda is not his worst surface, which is a good sign. If I'm a 5.1 on an Eric Cole, I'm probably like a 4.8 on Ryan Gerard, right? Like there's some good stuff there. The putter's problem, not super excited about it. Not going to be sprinting to get Ryan Gerard. So annoyed I can't join one and done. Thanks, Maine. Make a run for the border. Most of Canada is available in the one and done. What state are you? What about New Hampshire, Rhode Island? You close to any of those? I don't know if they're available. It's like 40 some odd states. I think DC is included. Most of Canada is included. Just make a border trip. Would you consider looking at the stats from Kapalua? Since that is the course guys have in the past knocked off the rust. No. I think that's a bridge too far. Very different golf course. I understand that you're saying it's like the first start of the year. I'm not going to go there. One and done is hustling. 2 days ago, it was at 1,500 entries, and I thought there was a massive overlay. There still is. Yeah, listen, there's still a massive overlay, and I don't know how optimistic I am that we will close that gap. I hope so, but people wait till the last minute. It drives me absolutely up a wall. I'm going to get to this question first here, and then I'm going to go back to the build a golfer question. So Nick says, if you're going with Ben Griffin in one and done, did you also consider Morikawa, or is ceiling too high to burn him in a non-Siggy major? All right. So I've got obviously a lot of one and done entries all over the place. I have probably given more of Ben Griffin than a lot of people. Okay. So here's a couple of thoughts on this. First off, we're seeing Ben Griffin at 3% ownership in one and dones. There is probably not going to be another time later this year, and it's certainly not going to come at a signature event or a big time event in which Ben Griffin is one of the 2 or 3 favorites to win a golf tournament. I realize this is a small purse. He played twice in the fall on the PGA Tour. He finished runner-up in Napa, and he won in Cabo. He's playing well. I think this is a decent golf course for him. I think he's one of the better players in the field, and I don't think he's going to be one of the favorites again. So I've put in a lot on Ben Griffin. I have a little bit of Russell Henley. I have a little bit of JJ Spawn. I have a little bit of Hideki Matsuyama. I don't think I played much of Colin Morikawa. I'm a pretty big believer in Colin this year. If you're a believer in Colin, then you believe he's probably going to contend at some of the bigger events. I mean, he's going to get a bunch, and Ben Griffin is too, but Colin Morikawa is going to get a bunch of 72-person, 4 guaranteed rounds, golf courses that allow him to lean into the strengths of what a great ball striker he is. I feel like I've shown this 50 times in the offseason, but like Collin Morikawa is basically the same approach player he has always been, one of the best in the world. I mean, his ball striking numbers for 2025 were basically in line with his 2023, his 2022, a little bit off from his 2021, which was the same as his 2020 of his 2020, right? He's just this fantastic tee to green player. He's going to have these pop weeks with the putter, and he's going to have some really bad weeks. Like, I'm saving Collin Morikawa. I think there's a lot of really good places to use him. Ben Griffin, I'm going to burn right now in most cases. Let's build a golfer. So this is, I saw there was 120 some odd of you in the season long. So I've mentioned this before. This is like a new fantasy game. I'm assuming this is Jason who has sent this message. That's Jason Davis, the Davis family of Cam Davis, right? The brothers have created this game, and you pick one. It's a sicko game, right? You pick a guy to drive for you, wedges, irons, putter, mash them all together. It does this really cool strokes gained thing, and it tracks you for a leaderboard, and then also in like a season-long race. So I like to spend up a little bit on irons, because out of my budget here, like that is probably the most predictive. So we're going to go with 27. We'll go with Hideki there. We're also going to spend up on driver a little bit. Aaron Rye, Kevin Roy, I think would be pretty good options here. I could also probably grab Ben Griffin. How much is that going to leave me left? So for around the green, I don't want to spend a lot here. If I do Nico with there, I can also get I could get McNeely to putt for me. Yeah, this is great. So we're going Ben Griffin off the tee, Hideki with the irons, Nico with the wedges, and Maverick McNeely as my putter. I will save that. And now I am on the leaderboard. So I'm on the leaderboard with the PGA Tour players for this week, the Sony Open, and then also the season-long race with all of you guys as well. It's a fun game. I played it last year. I'll play it again this year. It's buildagolfer.com. If you go to the main page, my league is just sitting right up there. Favorite one and done pick between Nico, Nick Taylor, and Brian Harman. All right, I've bet Nico Echavarria this week. I do definitely have one and done exposure to him, so I would pick him over Nick Taylor and Brian Harman. I think his price is too. I mean, he was like 50 to 1 when I got him. $7,900 on DraftKings is really good. He played great in the fall with the Bay Current. I want to call it the Zozo. He played well in Cabo. He played well at Sea Island. He's won twice on the PGA Tour. If you want to go with the wind narrative, the island narrative, you can do that. Almost all of his best finishes are like Puerto Rico and Bermuda and the Sony and like all these other very, very coastal golf courses. The runner-up finish here, which was in a playoff last year. So like I'm in on Nico. Good to be back, Rick. Can I throw in with Mina and Mark to maximize our chances? Yeah. Okay. That is a reference to the Second Cup podcast, which is like a podcast we do 3 times a week on YouTube and wherever you get your pods with Greg Ducharme and Mark Immelman. And that's poking fun at Mark because Mark and Mina have agreed to split their winnings in the one and done this year, which is absolutely criminal and not allowed. And I will definitely be dealing with that. It'd be a good problem to have if they have to split the $100,000. So, okay. So what do we think of Luke Clanton this week? The next 10 years, I feel great about Luke Clanton. The next 10 days, less. Things get very different when you start playing for your job, right? When you start playing for as a professional. He was very, very good as an amateur. We knew he had some short game deficiencies that could rear their ugly head. He came down from, the moon as one of the best approach players statistically. That has settled. So we're going to learn a lot about Luke. I'm going to wait and see. I want to see, maybe we get him in the Florida swing, right? Went to Florida State, very familiar with the area. Maybe we just let him get his feet wet here and see him in a couple of months. For one and done, who is a must save for later in the season? I don't think that there are any must saves. I'm quite high on JJ Spawn. I think you could use him at a lot of places. I think Hideki you should probably save. He's going to have, I think of Phoenix. I think of Muirfield Village. I think of some good spots like that. I don't think there's anybody that you have to save. Seriously. It's not that type of field. If you said to me, hey, Russell Henley's not going to be the favorite at any other tournament, I'd probably agree with you. Go use Russell Henley right now. I don't think there's anybody that you have to save, but I would prefer to save JJ, Hideki, and probably Colin. Hey, Rick, excited for this season. I've been consuming your scratch and golf bet content in addition to Rick Run Good in the second cut. Are you done with CBS? I will be very candid with all of you as I always am. I don't know. I have a contract that lasts for 6 more days with CBS, and I don't know one way or another. I want to be back. I want to go to a lot of events. I want to go on CBS Sports HQ. I want to be part of that. I'll be very clear. I don't know. That's for my representation to figure out and all that fun stuff. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll know in probably 6 days. The scratch stuff, the golf bet stuff, I'm just trying to surround myself with a lot of really good partners to be able to continue to do cool stuff, right? And stuff that I want to do and stuff that I think is fun for the industry. So I'll just, again, tell you right now, like you're going to see me on PGA Tour Live a lot this year, like a lot. Those bet feeds again are ramping up. There's going to be more of them. They're going to be longer. I'm going to be at PGA Tour Studios a lot. So I hope that this is stuff that we can continue to grow on and build, and you guys are going to tune in and we're going to have a great time, and we're all going to get smarter and fatter wallets and all that fun stuff. So yeah, it's really cool. And if CBS, like I would love to be part of that moving forward, but we'll find out. First year using Pool Genius one and done. Since golfer schedules aren't locked in or public knowledge for the most part, can you talk about how to best use the season planner? Yeah. So again, also we get like a 50% off discount on this tool because I'm partners with those guys at Pool Genius. So the link's in the description for that. But yeah, the season. So what you do is you plug in all of your one and dones, all of the information about it, payout structure. As the year goes on, you tell it who you've used, what position you're in, all that stuff. And it gives you like a short list of golfers, how to grade them, who to save, what their popularity is going to be, so on and so forth. So the season planner, I use it mostly as just like, don't forget about these guys, right? So when you look at a schedule like this, and it has it listed by purse, and there's so many of these signature events and major championships that, you know, you've got to make sure you've got your big boys for those events, which is how this season planner kind of shows itself off. And then it kind of gives you an idea of, okay, the next tier of golfers that you wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't be so bad if you just use these golfers at one of the lower field events, like your Siwoo Kims and your Harry Halls and your Harris Englishes. Like, that's how I use it. I like to use it as just like an idea of who to play where, make sure I use everybody, make sure I'm not spending somebody where I shouldn't be spending them, or vice versa. So a lot of different ways to do it, but that is the way that I like that. And Mina likes this a lot. I mean, she just blindly follows whatever is on Pool Genius. She blindly follows, which is fun. Rick, I made an awful faux pas last night. I called Mark Trevor on the second cut, and he semi-called me out. Yeah, that was a tough scene. That was a tough scene for you, Mike. I will just let you know, Mark has a very good sense of humor, and he has been called Trevor way more than you could possibly imagine, and I'm sure he will 10,000 more times in his life. It is certainly listen, it's not great, Mike. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not great, but it's gonna be okay. And don't worry too much about it. In a DFS lineup, either Hideki or Eckroat or Scott and Echavarria. Oh, my computer is okay. We're still good. So sometimes my computer does this thing where it just like the dual monitors freak out and want to, like, I don't know. It's weird. It like flashes like I just plugged it in or something. I don't know. Anyway, Adam Scott and Echevarria for me. I think Echevarria is the most undervalued. Hideki is great, but has a pretty big range of outcomes. And then I think Adam Scott is significantly better than Austin Eckroat. Run Good Fantasy League appears to still be in PGA Fantasy. Oh, is it? Will you be playing this year? Are there any prizes other than bragging rights? I will admit, I have not thought about PGA Fantasy. And I probably should. I'll log back in and I'll fire a lineup in for this week. I saw that they made some changes. I've been putting off just like getting in there and messing with it. But no, I'm probably not going to offer it. Like we'll play together. If you beat me, that's great. But I'm not going to. I think last year I gave away $500. Who are your top golfers in the world at the moment? Scotty, Rory, Tommy, Rahm, Bryson, Neiman, Victor, Ludwig, Henley, Ben Griffin. Probably fair. Let's run a model. This is a good question. So let's run a model. So I want to do this. So this is my custom model at rickrungood.com. And I actually am just going to load what we did on Monday. So let me load what we did on Monday, which was Sony Open model from Monday. And Russell Henley was like by far the number one golfer, right? Okay. So what I think I wanted to come back and do was I wanted to turn down the weighted strokes gained total because I already had it at 100, which 100 rounds is probably too many. So let's go 50 rounds, turn down the weighted strokes gained total to 15 out of instead of 25. What I also wanted to do was add in history at Waialae. So we could do 10 there. And then I can keep everything else. What else do we have? Putting on Bermuda and then putts outside 10 feet from 10 to 20, driving accuracy. We could just get rid of the approach bins and do like strokes gained approach last. I love the radar data being in here. I love that. Let's do. Oh God, I forgot I put the relative strokes gained by round in there too. God, that was a good idea. Whose idea was that? Was that my idea? No, actually, I got an email about that. Okay, let's do strokes gained approach last 36 for 20 and strokes gained approach last 10. Last 100 for 10. Does that change much? Not much. Russell Henley still number 1. Colin 2. Ben Griffin 3. Corey Connors 4. I think Zach Blair got a little bit of a boost there. 5. Aaron Ride, JJ Spawn definitely got a boost there. Denny McCarthy, Mac Meisner, Emiliano Grillo. Talked about Eric Cole. I don't think there's a situation in which you're going to have to play Eric Cole in a one and done this year. So that is probably a bit too far. Would you prefer in one and done Keegan or Nick Taylor? Let me pull up Nick Taylor's sheet real quick. I don't really prefer either one of these guys, admittedly, but let me just check Nick Taylor real quick before I give him the official nod here. Yeah, we're going to give him the official nod here. So played well at the Nedbank, which is the last time we saw him. That was in December. By the way, real quick, give me 30 seconds here. rickrungood.com. I have spent a lot of time and energy on this over the last 11 years. This offseason, I've made a lot of updates to it. 6 different tours are coming in here. I've got data deals with everybody, right? I'm getting the official data from Live Golf, from the DP World Tour, from the PGA Tour, Korn Ferry Tour, Senior Tour, Asian Tour. Okay. So I've got strokes gained from the Nedbank, which is like, if you're only looking at a place that has PGA Tour data, you'd miss that from Nick Taylor. Some of these guys, I'll pull up like Kazuki Higa because he's like the perfect example of this. $6,200 on DraftKings, has played like 9 times since September, won twice on the Asian Tour, finished 7th at the Saudi Open. Like, come on. That's comprehensive. So I'll toot my own horn there. How do you find ownership for one and done? I beg and plead with my partners to give me access to the site-wide picks is basically how I do it. So here it is. Russell Henley, JJ Spawn leading the way. Nobody is really, really popular. The ones that stand out to me are that Ben Griffin's only 3.2% projected ownership. Kurt Kitayama's only 2%. I'll remind you, I'll give you the live update here. Just give you the live update of how much free money is in this. So 5,000 minus 3636 times 250. Yeah, still over $340,000 of free money in this one and done. That's crazy. The tiers as well. I mean, these aren't going to fill. There's going to be free money in both of these. So I implore you to get your entries in this. You do 2 or more, you get a chance to win a trip to the Players. But my goodness, Somebody's going to win $100,000 and it's probably going to overlay. That is incredibly sick. Hey, Rick, head-to-head matchup page. This is new. So not only do we have head-to-head matchups, but there is a 3-ball matchup as well. These are being simmed 10,000 times now. All right, the model's simming these 10,000 times. It's showing you the running strokes gained over the last 200 rounds. It's showing you strokes gained by round distribution. You can plug in any 3 golfers that you want, any 2 golfers that you want, and it will spit numbers out for you. When it compares golfers, is that taking into account what course they're playing on that week and whose course fit might be better? In general, yes. The short answer is if there is enough data, which means enough data from the course, we've played it enough times, and or the golfer has played that course, right? Like the way that I built it this time around is it has all these triggers. And if it finds everything, it triggers all of them. If it only finds a couple, it only uses those. It makes assumptions, right? So it's a really interesting tool. I'll probably make some tweaks to it over the course of the the next couple of months, but you can still choose the number of rounds that you want to look at. If you want to go longer term or shorter term, there's a 1-round matchup as well. It takes a little bit longer to load because it is running those 10,000 simulations when you change this. So it'll take a little bit longer to load, but yeah, it's a very, very good tool. I like this. I like this a lot. Deep dive, Pearson Cootie. Let's go. Let's just go. Let's just do it. Pearson Cootie, $7,400, has not missed a cut since the Boise Open. That was an event that he played on the Korn Ferry Tour in August. Has put together some really good results. Had a nice little fall, didn't he? So the fall, he goes 14th at the Sanderson Farms, 12th at the Korn Ferry Tour Championship, 3rd in Utah, 31st, 22nd, 51st. Tee to green numbers, fantastic. Great driver of the ball. I want to check one thing. Okay. He's accurate enough, I think. He is 71st out of 180 qualified golfers. So he's in the upper half of driving accuracy. That's probably going to be fine here, especially with how far he hits it. The ability to score the rest of his tee to green play. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good one. Top 3 guys in the 6K range that could end up in the optimal lineup. Kazuki Higa could. Max McGreevy absolutely could. I was going to say ADDC, Adrian Dumont de Chassé. I'm just trying to see if there's anybody else that might. I might go with Adrian. So real quick, Max McGreevy was probably the 4th best player in the fall. Fantastic finish. 3rd in Bermuda, 2nd at the RSM. He had the 11th at the Black Desert. He was awesome. Adrian Dumont de Chassé, one of the KFT graduates who's now going to get his tour card. He won the Korn Ferry event right before the Korn Ferry Tour Championship in October. Did not play particularly well at the RSM Classic, but didn't play poorly. Got off to a really good start and then kind of struggled in his second round at the Seaside course. Not the end of the world. I think those three could very, very easily be in the optimal lineup. Can you rip a scramble draft on stream? Oh boy. Maybe at the end if I have time. I'm kicking right now. All right, here we go. Here we go. Any good first round leader considerations and how do you find them in the model? Let's ride. So a couple different things we could do here. Let's start using some of the new tools. So let's go rip the custom model. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset the tools or reset the weights. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop 100 of the weights on this new stat that I put in called strokes gained round 1 relative. Actually, what I'm going to do is put 50 on strokes gained round 1 and 50 on strokes gained relative. Let's see what pops up here. Okay. So like this, Colin Morikawa is a fantastic round 1 player. 1.4 strokes gained per round. Okay. However, that is only a half a stroke better than his other 3 round average. Here's a better let me find you a better example. Somebody who's really here. Daniel Berger is 29th in strokes gained round 1. 3/4 of a stroke in round 1. that is just as good as he is every other round, right? He's almost dead even on every other round. So what am I getting at here? You want guys who are both good in round one, but also good relative to themselves, right? It doesn't matter if you're relative to yourself, but you still stink, like that's not good enough. So we got to get both. So actually, if we just look at the model, like Ryan Gerard, Johnny Kiefer, Daniel Brown all pop up. Like Ryan Gerard is a stroke better in round one than he is compared to his other rounds. Gains 1.3 strokes per round in round one. That's kind of crazy. Kiefer, he's got a smaller sample size. Daniel Brown has a smaller sample size. Morikawa, Keegan, no surprise there. So then what you could also do is you could go to the power rankings, look at the new distribution page, which now shows you a wider breadth of distributions. And we are looking for guys on both ends of this. How often are they gaining 5 or more strokes to the field? Can we hit that ceiling to potentially find a first round leader? So I don't see, right off the rip, I don't see Ryan Gerard's name until here, about 8% gaining 5 or more strokes to the field. That's not bad. It's pretty good. But some of those other guys that I pointed out, Daniel Brown, Johnny Kiefer, they both show up as also not only first round leader guys, but guys that can have a massive ceiling. Whew. Now we're talking. So that's how I would do it. Can we deep dive the butter knife, Jake Knapp? Yeah, he hasn't played in a while, right? Let me just confirm that while I take a drink of water. So we have not seen him since the FedEx St. Jude, which was 5 months ago. And, you know, this is horrible. I mean, he had a tragedy. He's lost his girlfriend. I'm assuming that's why he hasn't played. So kind of just putting that aside and looking at the statistics of this, coming down the stretch of last year, he really struggled on approach. He really struggled around the green. I don't know what to expect after a layoff like that. So what I would normally do is I would kind of reset everybody back to last 100 rounds. So we'll go last 100 rounds, weighted strokes gained total, and just see where Jake Knapp is at, right? How he compares to the rest of these guys. So it'll take a second. So here we go. So like Russell Henley leads the way at 2.02. Jake Knapp. I'm going to try to just find him. Here he is. He's 60th, 0.35 weighted strokes gained per round. So 60th, he's 7,800. It's fair. It's fair. It's not, I don't think he's overpriced. I don't think he's underpriced. I don't think he's significantly better than sentiment or significantly worse. On the key stats, I knew this question was going to come up. On the course key stats page, why do the approach buckets only add up to 77%? Yeah, it's a good question. So I filter out kind of the noisy garbage. So there's a couple of things here. I filter out like, you know, it has to be an approach shot. It's not a recovery shot. It's not like the third shot into a par 4 or something like that. So that filters out a lot of these. And then also, I do a couple other calculations like that. I will make this make more sense. The data's good. The math is good. It's a very good tool, but I will make that make more sense. I already knew that was going to be a question at some point. I'm a pretty big buyer of Kurt Kitayama. I might have said this before, but like there's very few guys in the world who can pick up double-digit strokes from tee to green as frequently as Kurt Kitayama does, right? He did it at the 3M Open. He did it at the John Deere. Like he's just such a good tee to green player. And he was having this great success. What I really love is he had this great success 3M Open to the end of the fall. And even before that, without really being that good of a putter. You know, he wins the 3M Open. His win at the 3M Open, check this out. So if you go for just winners in 2025, and go by the lowest amount of strokes gained putting. So Rory, Scotty, Kurt Kitayama. Those are the only 3 guys who won golf tournaments this year, gaining less than a stroke putting. You have to be elite. Like, and also means that even if he doesn't putt well, he can contend. And if he does putt well, good Lord. What's shaking, Rick? Thanks for all the updates and new features to the website. Would love some deep dive videos. Hell yeah. I feel like I say that a lot. We're like, I'm behind on tutorials, but like, I'm behind on tutorials. I guess I'll just see. But in your experience using Pool Genius, how accurate is those little projected ownership? Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about these, right? These little guys. Well, let's see. I think they are, well, Spawn and Henley are definitely the two most popular. Keegan's getting lumped in there. I think that's a little bit off. But then Siwoo, Nick, Hideki were, they're both in the top 5, right? So, yeah, Aaron Rycom, Hideki, and Nico Echavarria. Yeah, I don't think they're perfect, but I think they're very good based on the information that I'm getting. What? Oh. That's part 2 of this question. Okay. Got it. Okay. Yes. Sorry. I did not understand that. Did the deep dive on Nico. Thanks for tuning in. So does it make any sense to use Morikawa in one and done here since he's coming off a down year? Maybe we'll be low owned with some win equity and save him for a bounce back opportunity at a bigger event. I don't think we're ever going to see a time in which Colin Morikawa is very highly owned. Maybe if he wins multiple times, but we have to remember, even other places that he's going to go, Scotty's going to be there, Rory's going to be there. I just don't think he's going to be all that popular. If you use him at a major championship, he's going to be like 1% owned. So I'm not super worried about him being really popular later. So let's look at the shot shapes. So if we assume right to left is a little bit more prevalent here, right to left is the rarer shot shape on the PGA Tour, right? It's just guys don't hit it nearly as frequently anymore. So Michael Kim is by far the biggest right to left player in this field. He's one of the few guys left that hits a draw as frequently as he does. So he hits 80% of his shots right to left. And then there's only 5 or 6 other guys that do it more than half the time. Corey Connors, Chris Kirk, Zach Johnson, Doug Gim, and Alex Smalley. Now you might see, I guess Akshay's not playing this week, but like sometimes you see like Joe Highsmith's a lefty, right? So he's actually playing a cut or a fade. Robert McIntyre is a lefty. So that's why they're showing up there. But some of these guys do play right to left. I don't know if it's that critical, but if it is, then right to left is the place to be. I don't think JJ is going to be that popular. I think he is going to be 11% owned. We are very back. We are Chris Berman back, and gone. Why does Michael Kim suck at Waialae? I am of the opinion that in no way, shape, or form should you ever look at Michael Kim's past history, because he sucks at every golf course. I mean, he spent like 3 years being the worst player in the world. So I don't look at any of this. I really don't. Michael Kim is the one man that I just do not care about what he has done in the past. He's playing great golf. He's a completely different golfer now. I'm not like super stoked about him, but he won in France in September. He played well. He played 5 DP World Tour events, and he played the event in Japan since the BMW Championship. He's played a lot. He's played pretty good golf. I also want to do this because this comes up a lot too. Watch this. This is going to be sick. We're going to do everybody in this field since September 1st. So basically who's played since the end of the tour championship, right? And we have to load every tour because that makes sense. And we're going to look at just this field, and we're going to lower the number of minimum starts. Look at this. Kazuki Higa played 9 times. Pearson Coody played 8. A bunch of guys played 7 times. Now, there are a bunch that played once or twice. Brian Harmon played twice. Denny McCarthy played twice. If this matters to you, there are plenty of guys who played a lot and played well. Higa, Hoey, ADDC, at least 5 starts, gaining 1.3 strokes. SH Kim, Nico, Michael Brennan, Vince Whaley, Max McGreevy, all played a lot, all played great. Armina has vowed to, I don't know why she does this. She's way better at picking than she gives herself credit for. But she has vowed to just do whatever Pool Genius says. So she ended up on Hideki Matsuyama this week. I'm going to give you the live update. Oh, man, this thing, there's no way this thing fills, right? There's going to be so much free money in this. 5,000 minus 3,666 times 250. It's $335,000 of free money. What about the other? What about the? Okay, so this will be 1,000 minus 554 times 25. There's $11,000 of free money in that one too, for only 25 bucks an entry. Holy guacamole! All right, well, listen, links in the description. Go to Splash and get your free money because there is going to be a ton of overlay. First round leader Ryan Gerard. Can we take a look at Chris Kirk? Sure, we can. Chris Kirk, also a right to left baller who tends to play well at these types of golf courses where, you know, accuracy reigns a little bit more supreme. He's won this event. Was that 2 years ago, 3 years ago, last year? I can't even remember. Did he not win this event? Did I just make that up? What did he win? Century? Or am I just remembering these close calls? I could have sworn he won the Sony Open. Did he not win the Sony Open? Who am I confusing someone with Chris Kirk? Maybe I'm confusing him with. Oh, he won the Century. Okay, that's what I was confusing with. Okay, sorry. Crisis averted. My brain is not complete mush. Played well at the end of the year, but he only played once in the fall. So he got to the FedEx St. Jude, didn't even get to the BMW Championship, and only played once at Sea Island. But I love the tee to green play. I love the history here. Island course, whatever. Yeah, Chris Kirk's like a 7 out of 10. We'll never pay $250 for a contest we have so little control over. I don't know what that last part means. I get it. People don't want to pay $250. I say it's $8 a week. It's 31 tournaments. I'm going to spend more than $8 a week for entertainment. I don't know the we have so little control over part. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Hey, Rick, everyone is here in the same everyone here is in the same one and done. So secretly tell them that VJ is going to win. VJ is not going to win. Let's do the Adam Svensson conversation. He popped up on that played a lot list, right? Let's see how he's played. He went to Q school and finished second there. That's great. 21st in Cabo. The rest was not particularly good. Doesn't drive it well. Doesn't putts it even worse. Boy. Yeah, no, not Svensson for me. This week, how do you balance historical variance with the fact that this is the strongest field we've ever seen for the Sony? I want to lean towards using a stronger player. So this is a really good note from AJ. This, and I've said this like 30 times this week. This is a very difficult event to predict. Start of a year, rust, guys who have not been competitive in a long time, new Korn Ferry Tour players, new DP World Tour players, guys with new equipment, guys wearing new clothes. The wind is going to blow 20 miles an hour for the entirety of it. It's a very difficult event to predict. So with that being said, I like going with Nico Echavarria in a one and done situation. I like betting guys 50-1 or longer. I've used Ben Griffin because I think he's the strongest player that I'm not going to feel bad about using in week one. Right. So I'm, you know, I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. I did not kill Billy Mays. I did not. Do not put that on me. Do not put that on me. Outside of the big four, Scotty, Rory, Tommy, Xander, are there any other golfers you will save for a high purse event? Hold on. I have to reset my brain and think about like every golfer in the world. Well, I mean, Rahm and Bryson are because they're going to be played at majors. Ludwig, I would definitely want to save. That's probably it. On the borderline would be like Cam Young, Victor, Colin, JT when he's back and healthy. I wouldn't mind using JJ Spawn. but that's about it. The list is pretty short. I'm with Aaron Rye over Siwoo Kim. Penge is not playing this week due to illness, but is he playable now that he switched to PXG clubs? Seems like a horrible decision. I kind of agree with you. I'm a Mizuno guy myself. I don't get paid, and I pay for my clubs. But has there been a guy who switched to PXG and gotten better? I don't know. If he stays the same, great. But he is such an animal. To switch makes me nervous. I will need to see. I will need to see that. I don't think anybody is too low for one and done this week. I don't think Meisner, and I already told you I'm playing Echavarria, but I do not think Meisner's too low. John Kiefer would be, for me, and Mina, I have got to update this headshot. We've got to remind me. I feel bad for him every time I pull this up. I've got to update this. As of right now, he's a DraftKings priority. He's not a one and done priority. There's a really good chance we never have to use Johnny Kiefer in one and done. He's only $7,800 on DraftKings. He's only going to be 6% owned. That to me is the leverage spot. Using him in a one and done scenario, I think, is kind of egregious. Is there a promo code or offer for Splash? I don't have a promo code. You just go through my link and it gives you like whatever. I don't know if they have any promos going on right now, but if you use my link, it just gives you whatever the best thing is. All right, my betting card. And for those who are new, welcome. It's good to have you. I will tell you this every week. Someone will ask for my betting card every week, and I'm going to say this. Don't do what I do. We have different goals. We have different ambitions. We have different risk tolerances. We have different everything. Go bet who you want to bet. I do not let you guys spend my money, and you should not let me spend yours. Go do whatever you want. Okay. Outrights. JJ Spawn, I got at 20. Nico Echavarria, I got at 50. Just those two. A lot more top 20 exposure. Thigala, I got at 4. Kitayama, I got at 2.5, I believe. I think I also backed it up with like Nico Echavarria again there. And I might have a couple more, but that is, in matchups and stuff, but that is generally it. Oh, okay, good. I'm assuming this is the Pool Genius thing or the Splash. That report is shown on their weekly show too. Okay, good. I'm not like giving away any secrets or anything. Is Aaron Rye too far down the board to use at any point in one and done? No. Again, there, I know, and I'm not saying this is you, Robin, but I know a lot of people turn out of golf at the Tour Championship and then turn back in right now. Well, Aaron Rye has been fantastic since then. Third at the BMW PGA Championship, where he was fantastic across the board. That's Wentworth. That's their best event. He won in Abu Dhabi. Okay. Picked up 9 strokes on approach in Abu Dhabi. Aaron Rye on golf courses that are a little bit tighter, a little bit requiring the ball striking, here and Colonial and Wyndham, and I don't know if I'd go as far as Harbor Town, but like some of that, yeah. If you want to use Aaron Rye, use Aaron Rye for sure. He's going to be 5.5% owned. I love it. Is the Google Doc you used in your year-long one and done video available anywhere? I don't even remember what I used. No. I don't even remember what it was, so I'm sorry, but no. Lots of great updates for Rick Run Good this season. Thank you. Rick, you're the man. Oh, Trevor, you innocent boy. Thank you. I got you on the one and done ownership. I like a little bit more of Thursday AM if I had to pick. Okay. I saw another question about Patrick Rogers. Let's do it. See what old P Raj has been up to. $6,900. Okay. All right. Had himself a all right. He had a great RSM Classic. He finished 7th. The problem is he lost 4.5 strokes on approach. Now, he went nuts on the Plantation course on Friday. They don't have ShotLink on that course. So I'm assuming he hit. I mean, if you gain 6 strokes to the field, you probably hit it pretty close and pretty good. Don't love the rest of those rounds. Played well in Cabo. Okay. It was an okay fall. Still a very, very poor putter. What's his history here? Cut 24th, 38th, cut WD, cut. Yeah, that's not good. Welcome, Ryan. Happy New Year, be the man. How's Connors fit here? All right. Corey Connors. Remember when there was only one place in the world that Corey Connors could putt? Do you remember that? And it was Waialae. It's the only place in the world that he could putt. Not anymore. That's just cooked. So this was the first 4 starts at Waialae. +6, +2, +5, +1. It's like, holy crap. Corey Connors at Waialae. That's nuts. Since then, -3.7, -3.6, -5. I will probably just like never play Corey Connors anywhere. And I know that like that stinks and whatever, but like I just like, how can you deal with a guy who's going to probably lose you 4 or 5 strokes putting every single time he tees it up? He is actually, I did this for Scratch. He's like the best top 20 bet that you can make. Like if you just bet Corey Connors to finish inside the top 20 every single week, it's like a really good bet. Armina has told me she has updated Johnny Kiefer's headshot. Let's see if it happens in real time. Oh, look at that. Look at that beautiful boy with his pro smile now. Finally. Good job, Mina. Well done. Okay. I'm happy to announce that we are getting to duplicate questions not duplicate. Don't send any questions more than once, but questions I've already answered. I heard that on large greens, if you hit it close to the pin, putting is easy. That is probably true most places. Do you have a proximity to the hole stat? Yeah. I mean, how would you like to do it? We could go to the key stats and we can look at strokes gained from a bunch of different bins. We could go to the Holy Grail, go to stats, go to approach, and just go to like, what do you want? Just like proximity to the hole? Okay. In this field, Russell Henley, Kurt Kitayama, Rico Hoey, Colin Morikawa, Hideki Matsuyama, Adam Schenk, Zach Johnson, Doug Gim, Kevin Roy, Spawn Hoagie, Blair Grillo. Projected one and done ownership for Brian Harman. I'll keep scrolling. Brian, where are you, Brian? Does anybody know where Brian's at? Where is he? Oh, 1.3%. Brian. I'm in more on Rye than I am on McNeely, but I think both are pretty good plays. Best under 7K value. I mean, I'm probably gonna just die with Kazuki Higa at $6,200, but also at $6,900 is Max McGravy, who I think is fantastic value. Who are you going with? Takumi Kanaya? Let's check out Takumi Kanaya so that people can make decisions themselves. Takumi Kanaya, 27 years old, out of Tokyo. Finished third in Bermuda, missed the cut at the RSM Classic. Played well at the... this is pretty good too, my friend. This is pretty good too. And Takumi Kanaya is the most accurate driver of the golf ball on the planet. All right, Tim. You got me. That's a good one. What? I'm just going to read this like Mark is a jerk. I'm assuming he's not a jerk, but I'm just going to read it like he is. What do those one and done numbers mean when most entries won't come until tonight? Well, they're just percentages, Mark. And most people, tend to do percent. It's like, how can they call the election when only 60% of the votes are in or 80% of the votes are in, right? Like, people are going to do the same thing in terms of percentages. So, that's how. How far in advance do we... So the first time doing one and done, welcome. It's sick. You're going to love it. Technically speaking, we will not know the field officially until the Friday before at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So this Friday coming up in 2 days at 5 o'clock, they will announce the American Express field for next week. That is like the first official time we get the field. There will be guys who commit to events and they will announce it earlier. So like Brooks is already committed to Phoenix and Torrey Pines, right? But that is not required. So really, when will we know? How far in advance? The Friday before. How are Kitayama's wedge numbers? Funny you should ask that, because I can produce it. Pretty damn good. So, well, that's per shot, which is hard to. Well, okay. So this is strokes gained. It's on a per shot basis. So I'll just tell you, 0.05, 0.05, and 0.06 per shot is pretty good. That's pretty good. He's a very good wedge player. Alan says, I think you're sleeping on the radar data. All right, let's do it. Like, listen, it's not my time. It's your time. Watch this. Let's do this. I'm going to load Monday's model, right? We'll go back to Monday's model. And I'm going to get rid of, I'm going to lower the weighted strokes gained again. I'll put that extra 15 on right to left. And then I'll remove, I'm going to take 30. I'm going to take the 30 up from approach away. And I'm going to put 15 of it on strokes gained approach last 36. And then I'm going to put the other 15 on Waialae. Okay. Corey Connors gets a big boost. He's now second. Chris Kirk is now third. If you see Zach Johnson, though you probably weren't playing him anyway. Austin Eckroat, 37th right to left. That's pretty good in this field. He's got some deficiencies like the putts that matter, but that's pretty good. Harry Hall gets a boost. Brian Harmon gets a boost. He's a lefty. I think Denny McCarthy got a little bit of a boost, but there you go. That's fine. Hao Tong had a great. Oh, I don't want to lose that. Let me change. Hao Tong was one of the best players on the DP World Tour last year. Okay. One of the best. Fantastic year. Does he have a putting problem? Yeah, sometimes. Half the year he putted really well. He got into a slump, and then he played much better at the DP World Tour Championship and in Nedbank. Right? I mean, look at the driving numbers. He was probably one of the better drivers of the golf ball on the DP World Tour last year. So I really like Hao Tong. We still have to figure out what it's going to look like for him on the PGA Tour. Right? There's a big difference between these circuits, right? So when you start weighing this stuff, it's good, and we'll see what Hao Tong does, but pretty optimistic. I think I don't want to call him cooked, but my heart says Keegan's cooked. I think he really only had like 4 good starts last year, and one of them he won. He was being carried around everywhere. Captain, USA. That's definitely not going to happen this year. He's another year older. He's now like 44, something like that. My hunch is it's not going to be a good year for Keegan. Nico over Kitayama for the tournament. I like both, but yeah, give me Nico. Wrighton or Reeton. I don't know how he pronounces it. Over Pendrith. Any information about ball flight? Looking for players with lower ball flights? Well, it's funny you asked that, Andrew, because of course I have ball flight stuff. Of course I do. I've got all the radar things. Here it is. You want lowest? What do you want? Lowest launch angle or lowest apex? You probably want lowest apex is probably what you're referring to here. Lowest apex. Takumi Kanaya not only hits every single fairway, but hits it low. Adam Svensson, Brian Campbell, Russell Henley, Aaron Rye, Daniel Berger, Adam Schenk. Toasty, Power, Gerard. Dude, Gerard's definitely going to be the first round leader, isn't he? Like, I'm now positive of that. See, of course I have. You want their smash factors? Do you want their spin rates? You want their curves? That's right. Thoughts on including Michael Kim and Connors in the same lineup. I like it. I like those guys. I mean, obviously without knowing what the rest of your lineup looks like. Yeah, I actually do wish this was, I honestly wish. So like when you tell people it's $8 a week to play in the one and done, like that's not really a big deal, but like getting it all up front, I kind of wish it was like, just withdraw $8 from my account every single week. Which by the way, the one and done. You know, I'm going to beat you over the head with this, right? I mean, we are 20 hours and 5 minutes away. There is a multiple hundreds of thousands of dollar overlay. There's a 50% overlay in our tiers contest for this week. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I like Blanchett a little bit better than Lamprecht. I have to learn how to say his name. He's South African, but Chandler to me is a little bit better. Oh, Patrick. Funny you asked that, Patrick. Yes, I do need to add the windy conditions to the models, but watch this. I completely forgot. We are 65 minutes in and I completely forgot about the wind stuff. And I know what you're saying. What? I haven't been back in a year. Rick is talking about wind. I thought he was ready to murder everybody who talked about wind. Yeah, usually. So here's what I've done. I said, and I promised you guys, I wouldn't do wind data until I was proud of it. Right? That's what I said I would do. So along with the radar data, being able to tap into the shot links and all that stuff, the weather and the wind stuff is in there. So tickle my fancy. So what I've done is I will do windy conditions. So 15 mile an hour winds or more since, let's just go back to like 2021. And what you're going to find is hilarious because I know you guys are, yeah. So actually Colin Morikawa is number one, 1.63 strokes gained per round. The narrative is not good for Colin, but the data doesn't back that up. Finau is number two, Hideki, Henley, Keegan, Bud Cauley, JJ Spawn, Luke Clanton, Corey Connors. What do these guys all have in common? They're pretty like generational flushers. Okay. Morikawa, Finau, Hideki, Henley, Keegan are like generational flushers. Spawn, Clanton, Connors, Pendrith. I mean, it really is. If this does not describe the whole wind conversation, I can't describe it any better. Okay. Because the best way to beat the wind is to hit it off the center of the club face and hit it solid. That is basically it. Because when your ball is at any point not solid, if you ever played in the wind, you know this, and it gets spinning wrong, it's a little bit weak or whatever, the wind grabs it. Guys that hit it off the center of the club face hit a heavy ball. They know where it's going. The wind does not affect it as much. It makes sense. Okay. That concludes my TED Talk. Deep dive on Cam Davis. It doesn't look that bad at 6,300. I'm not going to be able to find you anything that looks very good on Cam Davis's profile here. I'm not. He played twice in Australia in the fall. It's a T33 and a T61. Those are probably performances that he wants back. 2025 was not very good. The best thing I can say about Cam Davis is that if you reset him, which is generally what I do this year, and you look at talent, multiple time winner on the PGA Tour, he's probably he's probably like at the midway pack of this field, and he is 6,300. By the way, speaking of Cam Davis, I have an extra Cam Davis bobblehead. Hold on. I don't want to dig the box out, but it's this one. But I have one new in the box. Okay, so it's Cam Davis. There it is. Cam Davis holding both of his Rocket Classic trophies. I have an extra one. How can I give it away? Just like, I don't want you to spam the chat right now because that would be annoying for me. So how about this? Only you guys are going to know about this. Okay. So I have a tweet that I tweeted out at like an hour before this show went live. And I was like, oh, live chat's going to happen at the top of the hour. If you go and reply to that tweet, I'll pick somebody and I'll give them the other bobblehead. But only we know about this. I'm not going to tweet about it. Don't put it in the chat right now. Just go reply to that tweet and I'll pick somebody later today. Only we know about this. Okay. What is your Chick-fil-A go-to? Today I got the spicy chicken sandwich, and I got the nuggets, and I dipped them in buffalo sauce, and I ate that. It was really nothing. It was really nothing. It was really nothing special. Favorite Asian golfer not named Siwoo or Deki? Like for this week or like just in general? Higa, Kanaya, Kevin Yu. Is the Philippines in Asia? Is that a stupid question? Rico Hoey. Asking for so much personal information online is what's keeping me from doing one and done. Yeah, listen. So I'm going to read this like this guy's a jerk. Let people enter without ID. You don't need it. That's how I'm reading that in my head. This is a fully legal and regulated industry, right? Do you think Splash wants that barrier? Do you think these places want that? Like you do that because the federal laws or laws in your state require that, right? That's for your safety and security. I know like, oh, I don't need to trust the government or whatever, right? But like, that's what it is. They're not just like asking because they want to see your driver's license photo. It's legal and regulated. There's a reason. How else are we going to get a $1.25 million fully guaranteed contest on the internet? It's got to be regulated, bro. All right, Rick. First year doing a one and done. Got a group of friends that do it with me. I'll be making the pick each week. Got any tips for a newbie? Yeah, listen. Save the best players for the big events. Generally just pick somebody off the top 5 or 6 of the leaderboard and play your position. Or 5 or 6 of the odds board and play your position. If you start to fall behind, take a little bit of more risk. If you are leading or towards the top, don't take on as much risk. I did a larger like 45-minute conversation with Jason from Pool Genius about overall strategy. It's on I think it's on my YouTube channel as well. It's definitely on their YouTube channel. But if you go to my YouTube channel and then scroll down to the bottom, I don't know if you guys can see this. There's a section called collaborations. It's right here. It's 39 minutes long. Do we need to wait to utilize the breakout candidates tool? Oh man. Probably. Cuz it kind of relies on like how they're playing right now. God, I love this tool. But yeah, it's probably not as valuable this week. Let's see where I'm at here. We talked about Kanaya. We talked about Nico. We talked about Kurt Kitayama. Fuzzy did not win the drawing to go to the Spearmint Rhino with me. That's true. Yeah, so I did get in touch with the winner for the West Coast trip. We're working out the details. His name's Erwin. It seems like a really very good guy who's been around for a long time, which I'm happy about. I was afraid I was going to email somebody and they were going to be like, who? I hate you, or something like that. Leave as much money on the table as possible. The optimal lineups rarely, if ever, sniff $50,000. And in a week like this, where it is volatile and there are a bunch of new names, do not expect the pricing to be incredibly efficient. Leave as much money as you want on the table. Siwoo and Nico, or Adam Scott and Nick Taylor. Siwoo and Nico. I'll show you the Blanchett profile. There was like multiple questions in a row there. So he wins the Korn Ferry Tour Championship, but that concluded a run of T4, T7 win. The dude's a stud. Probably the second or third best player coming out of the Korn Ferry this year. Listen, these guys are going to be like, they're probably going to start slow. Okay. It's a new tour. They're getting their feet on. We see this all the time. Maybe wait till the Florida swing. Maybe, I want to see like 5 or 6 starts. If you need to play one of these guys, play them. But I would expect a little bit of a slow start. I heard this course is fairly penal to those who miss left. Well, we don't have to guess on that. Let's look. Does the data back that up? The answer is not really. It's pretty even in both directions. The data doesn't really agree with that. Need to allow Australians to play on Splash. I'm sure they would love that, and I would love that too. Mostly just legislation again. 50 to 1 or longer one shot to win. I mean, Nico's 50. Sahith. Legit Sahith. Keith Mitchell, first round leader. Don't overthink it. Do you happen to have a one and done at a lower entry fee? I don't, but there's other stuff going on Splash right now, right? Like I saw there was as low as like a $10 one I saw earlier. So there's other contests on Splash. I encourage you to play mine because I'm selfish, but that's it. I bet Spawn, not Colin. Did you already do a one and done for Siwoo Kim? I do not understand that question. Hey, Rick, glad you're back. Have you seen the photos of Kapalua? I have. Listen, that whole situation reeked of local bureaucracy and politics and two entities that did not want to budge between the Kapalua Resort and the local water distribution company. It seemed like a cluster from the start. And I think, quite honestly, that was a bad situation. But I also think the PGA Tour took the opportunity to say, okay, hey, no worries. We don't have to go spend the millions of dollars we were going to spend to go over there and lose money. We'll just cancel it, right? I think that was a nice little out for the PGA Tour, but I think the whole thing reeked of just like, I'll get off my high horse, but like everything's a race to the bottom, right? Like how much can we squeeze out of everybody? How much can, like, it's just like the Masters is one of the few things left that's just like, we're just going to do things the way we think are right. And that's what we're going to do. And guess what? They make the most money because people throw money hand over fist to be a part of that. It's great. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now. I'll just show you what I did for my tiers. I don't really care. Also, you can do it with CSVs now, which is fantastic. But all you do is you just pick one golfer from each of 6 tiers here. So tier 1, Ben Griffin, Russell Henley, JJ Spawn, Robert McIntyre, Hideki Matsuyama, Keegan Bradley, Harry Hall, Siwoo Kim, McNeely, and Morikawa. So I have a mix of Griffin, Henley, Morikawa, and Spawn probably. I don't have much of those other guys, but then you just kind of go through and do each one of the tiers. And I mean, there it is. There's one of my lineups right there. It's very simple. It's very fun. The tier thing, because you can't play both, for example, like Colin Morikawa and Harry Hall. You only play one of them. So it's kind of like make your pick. I'm new to golf betting and see a lot of models out there. What separates Rick Run Good from others? I don't know. I have never logged in to any other model. I don't know. I just do my own thing. And I've got data deals with all the tours. So I try to be very representative and complete with all the tours, and all the modeling I think is really fair. And there's a lot of thought into it. And I just try to improve it constantly. I don't know. I cannot tell you what is better, worse, or the same as everybody else. That's all. I don't know. If you want to check it out and you like it, great. If you don't like it, I'll just refund you. Like, I'm not going to beat you up about it, right? Like, I'm going to do business the right way. I just preached about that. So like, go sign up. If you hate it, email me and I'll refund you. It's all good. We've answered a lot of these. I will answer. This is a good one. We have not done the full on ownership like pivots yet. So Russell Henley catching a lot of the steam at the top. Pivoting to Morikawa or Ben Griffin would save you at least 11% there. Hideki and Spawn will be popular. So I prefer going to Harry Hall. Probably not Robert McIntyre, but like Harry Hall, I think is a very, very fair pivot at 14.5%. Going a little bit farther down, Rico Hoey at 12 that guy for the last 3 months, he's been one of the best players on the PGA Tour. I don't know if that's going to continue, but he's not popular enough for how well he played in the fall. McCarty's catching a lot of steam. Why not just Neil Shipley for like a fraction of it? Very good driver, well thought out player. Wouldn't mind that. Sam Stevens, 2.7% is craziness compared to like Ryan Gerard is not 6 times better than Sam Stevens is. Some really good, actually, some pivot options. Yeah, let's do this. Let's look at Robert McIntyre. So won the Alfred Dunhill, 9th in Abu Dhabi, 8th at the DP World Tour, 12th at the Hero. I don't put too much stock in that. It's a couple of 50th place finishes here. I'm not sure this is a place that really highlights his best attributes. He's not super long. He's not super accurate. He's not a really great wedge player. He's a much better long iron player. You know, think about that Scottish Open shot that he hit. The stats back that up. It's just like Robert McIntyre on a wider, longer golf course, I think is probably better. Are lab golfers worth the $600? Thoughts on zero torque in general? I get the idea of zero torque for sure. I actually think what's more important is the stability shaft. So I installed a stability shaft on my Jailbird. Huge difference. Okay. The missed hits are basically the same. So I get that. The zero torque thing I get. I personally don't like it. Labs are probably not worth $600, and they're probably not going to be in the future. Now they're private equity. And again, here I go again, right? Like my anti-corporate stance here. Like, you know, probably not. If you can't putt with anything but a lab putter, you probably just can't putt. Can someone explain why we can't make picks for the Splash one and done? What's the purpose of the app? I make picks from the app. Is it an Android thing? Is that what we're talking about? I don't know if that's true or not, but like, I don't know if that's true or not. Oh, I think this is on me, Jeff. I was messing around with something before we started. Give me a second to do that. I'll take care of that for you like 1 minute after we got it. Can you clarify how you got the ownership data that's not publicly available? I knew somebody was going to ask that again. And I've made this very clear last year. Office Football Pool used to have this page that showed you the site-wide picks. It's not specific to anything. It's the site in general. Basically, that page still exists. You just have to get to it. So that's how. I'm not privy to any super secret information. Oh, man. This is a tough scene for me. Sadly, I stopped playing golf last year and hence stopped watching you since when you went Silver Fox. What? Is there that much gray? Oh, boy. Also, any recommendations for a single entry? All right. If I were you, I would start like Ben Griffin, Harry Hall, Kurt Kitayama, and then anything else that I want, and not have to worry about being completely overowned or anything like that. Because you could just take anybody you want after, like take the most popular golfers on the slate. And I still think that would give you enough room and enough upside without going super, super, super crazy. All right. Here's the thing. This tournament starts on Thursday morning or noon Eastern, I think, in about 19 hours. multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars in overlay, in free money between the one and done and the tiers contest for this week. All right. I hope we fill them. If we don't fill them, I have to answer to Splash and say, whoops, sorry, which isn't that big of a deal. I will be happy for the community if we get this huge overlay. I will have to answer for it. We'll see. But I will be happy that we all got this free money in there. If you put in at least 2 entries, you also are in the draw to hang out with me at the Players Championship. So listen, I've beat you guys over the head with this for the last week. There's only 19 more hours where I can beat you over the head with it. I'll try not to, but we will see. I appreciate y'all tuning back in. It's going to be a great week. It's going to be a great year. I don't have anything else to say. Mina, shut it down.